And so this is the big breakthrough in the last couple of years: reinforcement learning, verifiable results.
Nvidia has unveiled a supercomputer so advanced, it's already transforming medicine, finance, and national security. It doesn't just follow instructions. It analyzes, predicts, and moves faster than human decision-making can keep up with.
What we're showing behind me actually is the new CLA concept, which is going to be the first vehicle from Mercedes-Benz with Nvidia Drive inside. So that's our AI platform for automated driving.
This isn't the future. It's already here. But the real question now is, how much power are we handing over without even realizing it? What Nvidia just revealed. When Nvidia made their announcement, it didn't feel like a typical product launch. It felt like the company was laying down the foundation for something far bigger than most of us were ready for. They revealed their newest creation, a supercomputer built around a system called the DGX SuperPod. It runs on their latest Blackwell Ultra GPUs, which are designed to handle massive generative AI models with a level of speed and accuracy that pushes the limits of anything we've seen before. At the center of this machine is the DGX GB200 system. It connects 36 Grace CPUs and 72 Blackwell Ultra GPUs using a specialized high-speed network Nvidia calls NVLink. This setup allows the components to work together with such speed and coordination that it has completely redefined what supercomputing power looks like. This new system performs artificial intelligence tasks at a level that is over 70 times faster than the last generation of systems Nvidia released just a few years ago. But the story doesn't end with hardware specs. Nvidia introduced a new concept alongside this machine called the Instant AI Factory. This isn't a product for the shelf. It's a ready-to-deploy AI infrastructure that can be shipped out and installed in over 40 countries around the world. The goal is to allow companies, governments, and research labs to instantly build large-scale AI models without waiting years to build their own systems from scratch. Nvidia is no longer just a chip company. They are becoming the backbone of the global AI ecosystem. What makes this moment even more significant is how Nvidia is positioning itself at the intersection of artificial intelligence and quantum computing. They've launched something called the Accelerated Quantum Research Center. This is where Nvidia plans to merge their AI systems with experimental quantum processors. The company is already working with major quantum research groups like Quantinuum and has partnered with institutions such as MIT and Harvard to explore what happens when you combine the precision of A1 with the possibilities of quantum logic. This isn't science fiction or some early-stage project. It's already underway. Nvidia has shifted from building tools to building intelligence infrastructure, and what they've just introduced isn't just about speed. It's about creating machines that can help simulate molecules, predict markets, develop new materials, and possibly even assist in real-time defense operations. But just when it seemed like Nvidia had peaked, they pulled a move no one saw coming, mastering quantum without making a quantum computer. Quantum, but not the way you think. Now, Nvidia is not building a quantum computer. They're doing something more strategic. They are turning their AI supercomputers into machines that understand how quantum systems behave. That alone changes the landscape. The company developed a platform called QQuantum, which allows classical systems to simulate quantum circuits at a scale that was considered impossible just a few years ago. With this software, Nvidia's most advanced chips can model quantum behavior so accurately that researchers are using it to test quantum algorithms before they ever touch a real quantum processor. It gives scientists the freedom to explore quantum ideas without needing access to an actual quantum lab. This isn't just a tool, it's a new workflow. By simulating quantum mechanics inside a traditional system, Nvidia is building a bridge between two worlds that rarely speak the same language. They've turned their chips into translators, capable of running machine learning models while also predicting how quantum particles might behave in different scenarios. To push this further, Nvidia has partnered with companies that are developing real quantum hardware. Groups like IQM, Pascal, and Rigetti are working closely with Nvidia to integrate their quantum platforms into Nvidia's simulation stack. This collaboration allows quantum developers to write, test, and refine their work using Nvidia's tools before deploying on actual quantum machines. It's the equivalent of building flight simulators before putting a pilot into a real cockpit. This strategy gives Nvidia a major edge. They don't have to build quantum hardware from scratch. Instead, they've created the infrastructure that everyone else in the quantum space now relies on. And with each partnership, that network grows tighter. They're not betting on one version of the future. They're preparing for all of them at once. What they've built is not a quantum machine, but it understands how quantum systems move, behave, and calculate. That makes it just as important, maybe even more, because it teaches the rest of the world how to speak quantum without needing to reinvent the hardware from the ground up. Quantum was just the beginning. What came next is already reshaping medicine, money, and even war. What makes this thing terrifying? It's not the size, it's not the speed, it's the reach. This machine isn't terrifying because it can calculate fast. Computers have done that for decades. What's different now is how quietly it's replacing judgment, memory, and instinct. All the things we used to call human strengths. One by one, they're being handed off to a system that never forgets, never hesitates, and never questions the logic it was trained on. Start with the banking sector. BNY Mellon, a financial institution older than the light bulb, is using Nvidia's supercomputers to handle everything from deposit forecasting to payment automation. That might sound like a simple back-office upgrade until you realize that the machine is detecting patterns across billions of transactions and making micro-decisions in milliseconds. No analyst team, no matter how skilled, could ever compete with that kind of awareness. Not in real time, not at that scale. Then there's Gatortron, part of the HyperGator AI cluster at the University of Florida. Powered by the same architecture, it's scanning over 100 million patient records, learning how diseases emerge long before symptoms appear. Doctors now have access to predictive models that can flag cancer risks, stroke probabilities, or heart failure signs weeks or even months in advance. In some pilot studies, these models perform better than seasoned physicians. That's not a tool, that's a new kind of diagnostician. And now take a look behind the curtain. The US government isn't just watching this happen, they're already plugged in. Through MITRE, they've started integrating Nvidia's systems into national infrastructure. These machines are simulating natural disasters, anticipating cyber attacks, and scanning data from social systems to forecast everything from border security to benefit fraud. A single AI model can process volumes of input that would overwhelm a government agency. The system flags anomalies, recommends interventions, and in some cases, drafts entire policy suggestions based on shifting data. This isn't science fiction. Nvidia's architecture is being used to train trillion-parameter models. These are the kind of AI brains used in things like OpenAI's GPT-4 and other foundation models. To train them without a system like Nvidia's would take months and hundreds of millions in compute time. But with the Blackwell-based DGX SuperPod, organizations can get those results in days. This changes the AI development cycle. Now models can be built, tested, improved, and deployed in the time it used to take to run one decent training set. And here's the real shift. These machines aren't just responding anymore. They're predicting. Nvidia's system can simulate environments, adapt to feedback, and generate solutions before humans even define the problem. In drug discovery, it's already being used to find molecular structures that could lead to next-generation antibiotics. In energy, it's helping model new battery chemistries. In warfare simulations, it can predict enemy movement and optimize strategies based on real-time battlefield feeds. And the more data it's given, the more it improves. There's no ceiling here. There's no final version. This isn't a machine that needs rebooting, it just grows. What makes it terrifying is not what it is today. It's what it quietly becomes tomorrow, while we're still asking what questions to feed it. By the time we decide, it's already writing the answers. While most of us were still trying to grasp its power, Nvidia's machine was already rewriting the rules in the real world. How it's already changing the game. We usually think of big tech announcements as things that will change the world someday. This one already has. The moment Nvidia's new supercomputer became accessible, entire industries started shifting gears. Not in theory, but in actual deployments that are already affecting how decisions are made, how systems run, and how humans interact with machines. Start with medicine. At Cambridge 1, the UK's most powerful AI supercomputer, Nvidia's technology is helping researchers at GSK and AstraZeneca map how diseases evolve. It's analyzing genetic patterns, simulating protein folding, and generating predictions for drug candidates in record time. In the past, getting a potential treatment to trial could take years. Now, with Nvidia's platform, scientists are screening possibilities in days and narrowing down the best options with precision that didn't exist before. At Gency, France's National Computing Center, Nvidia's DGX system is being used to run massive climate simulations. These aren't weather forecasts, they're complex, long-range models designed to predict extreme events years in advance. They're using the data to guide agricultural planning, water policy, and disaster readiness. It's not about forecasting rain anymore. It's about preventing famine. In the world of autonomous vehicles, Nvidia's drive platform is already shaping how companies like Mercedes-Benz, Volvo, and BYD train their self-driving AI. These systems process billions of road scenarios, pedestrian interactions, and edge case accidents. That training would have taken years using conventional hardware. Now it's happening faster than cars can hit the road. These vehicles are not just learning how to drive. They're learning how to respond to the unexpected. Fog, accidents, poor lighting, sudden lane changes. Things we once assumed only a human could interpret. Even agriculture is changing. In the Netherlands, Nvidia-powered AI is being used to control lighting, irrigation, and crop monitoring in smart greenhouses. The system adjusts everything based on plant behavior in real time. The AI tracks color changes, moisture loss, and early signs of disease. No human ever has to step in. The crops grow faster, the waste drops, the profits rise. In content creation, Nvidia's GPUs are powering models like Runway ML and Stable Diffusion, which artists are using to generate high-quality visuals from a single line of text. Entire advertising agencies are restructuring their workflows because of this. Animators are using these models to pre-visualize entire scenes. Directors are storyboarding movies with AI assistants. One creative studio that used to take weeks to mock up designs now completes concept phases in under a day. Even law enforcement and security are shifting. AI models running on Nvidia hardware are being used to track large crowds, predict crowd behavior, and flag potential incidents before they happen. In cities like Singapore, smart surveillance is no longer just about facial recognition. It's about identifying anomalies in movement patterns or vehicle behavior that suggests something's wrong before an alert is even triggered. While Nvidia is already changing the world, the rest of the tech giants are gearing up to take the wheel. The race nobody can win alone. This isn't a one-company story. Nvidia may be leading now, but the race is packed with giants. Intel, AMD, Google, and IBM are all in pursuit, and they're not building the same kind of machines. They're building different visions of what artificial intelligence could become. Intel is pushing its own architecture with Gaudi accelerators, trying to claw back relevance in AI after years of losing ground. They've partnered with companies like Stability AI and Hugging Face, offering lower-cost training platforms to compete with Nvidia's premium hardware. Their systems are being adopted by smaller labs and startups that need scale but can't afford the top tier. AMD, on the other hand, is going after Nvidia's stronghold head-on. Their Instinct Me300 GPUs are being used by Microsoft Azure, and they're already integrated into parts of OpenAI's infrastructure. AMD's strength lies in its aggressive pricing and open ecosystem. They're making the hardware easier to access and the software more flexible. Two things that attract institutions that don't want to be locked into Nvidia's stack. Google is building its future inside its own walls. With TPUs, tensor processing units, they're powering models like Gemini and Bard internally. Their AI data centers don't rely on anyone else's hardware, and that self-reliance gives them a different kind of control. They don't just want to run AI models, they want to define the way AI works from the silicon to the software. Then there's IBM. While the others compete in speed and power, IBM is leaning hard into quantum. Their Qiskit platform and superconducting qubit systems are already being used in research labs. They've announced timelines for quantum advantage by 2029, and they're integrating quantum with classical A1 workflows in ways that challenge the very idea of linear computing. But here's where Nvidia stands apart. While others specialize in one area, be it quantum, cloud, or affordability, Nvidia is doing something different. They're stitching it all together. Their architecture doesn't just scale up performance. It connects AI, quantum simulation, real-time rendering, and multi-GPU orchestration into one stack. That's why systems like DGX SuperPod, QQuantum, and Omniverse aren't just products. They're part of a tightly interwoven ecosystem where each piece amplifies the others. No other company is offering that level of integration. Nvidia isn't just building tools, they're building the platform that other AI tools will be forced to plug into. Their hardware is in the labs, the banks, the research centers, the military test sites, and with each update, that grip tightens. This is not a sprint for dominance. It's a long game for influence. Whoever owns the infrastructure doesn't just profit from the future of AI. They shape the direction it takes. Right now, Nvidia's hand is on the steering wheel. Everyone else is still looking for the keys. Nvidia's new supercomputer isn't just reshaping technology, it's reshaping control. The question now isn't how powerful these machines can become, it's who gets to decide how they're used. And who gets left behind when they take over the work we once thought only humans could do? Will these systems serve us or slowly replace us? And when they start deciding faster than we can react, will we even notice the moment we lose the lead? If questions like that keep you thinking, hit subscribe. There's a lot more ahead, and the answers aren't getting any simpler.